Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. It's very exciting to see all of you guys joining. This is like our I4G end of the year party, and I'm excited that you guys are here. Um, I'm just going to give it a few minutes and we can get started. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. I can already see some comments in the comment section saying that we haven't started. So sorry about the delay. We encountered some, hiccups. I'm excited to be here. Please, if you're excited to be here, say something in the chat box. I want to see you drop an emoji. This is our end of the year party. So we're going to treat it like a party. Drop an emoji, drop a party emoji, copy the YouTube link, send it to somebody who doesn't know that this is happening right now. Come on, come on, come on. Emojis, please. All right, all right, all right, all right. So before we get right in, I'm going to call on hello Afolabi Aminat, hello Kuro, hello Elise, hello Code with Dove, hello everybody. It's good to see everybody. I'm going to call on Hanifa. You guys already know her. She's the programs and community manager at Ingressive for Good. And she's going to be giving a welcome speech, just getting this started. We're going to use that welcome speech to throw this HackFest open before we start inviting our speakers over. I know you guys want to learn a lot from them. And yes, 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 yes. It's good to see your faces. Hanifa, are you ready?
All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah, welcome. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, thank you so much, Fauzi, for inviting me to do the welcome speech. And for those that don't know me, my name is Hanifa, and I am the Programs and Community Manager at Ingressive for Good. I'm super excited to be here. This is our fourth time. Whoa, this is our fourth HackFest. We started HackFest back in 2020 when Ingressive Focus started. And in 2020, we did a virtual HackFest. In 2021, it was a virtual one. And last year, we did our first physical HackFest ever, and it was really amazing. And this year, we decided to do virtual. So it has been an amazing year. It has been an amazing time, connecting with every single one of you. This year alone, we've grown to over 300,000 African youth across the world. We've been able to train in total over 150,000 people. And this year has been really, really exceptional because we've had amazing partners like Meta, the No Code, and of course, Datacamp, for those that have known Datacamp since 2020. We've also had, we did Meta program over and over again, 3 different Meta programs that we did this year alone. And Meta is ready to do this again with us next year. So if you know somebody, if you have anybody that, would like to, that this opportunity would be amazing for, please ensure that, they join the community. In the last couple of days, HackFest have started. We had a partnership together with FCMB to host a hackathon for over 1,000 people. Over 2,000 people applied, and we got over 60 submissions. It was a really, really tight competition. So I say a big shout out to every single one of you that participated in that hackathon. And I think 2 days ago, we awarded the winners at the physical event here in Lagos. The winners got, I think, 3 million, 1,500,000. It was really exciting. It was really good being able to be a part of that experience as well. We also got to meet a couple of other community We also had another graduation event with Meta, not necessarily a part of HackFest, but I think we'll count it as part of the HackFest week, right? Again, because this is the end of the year event, and it was really sweet having almost over 30 people come into the Meta event here to the Meta office here in Lagos as well. We had a very honest panel discussion. We had an opportunity to meet with the Meta team. We had an opportunity to meet with community members like you. So we're super proud of you. We're always happy for you. We are always rooting for you here at I4G. So what else is also on my welcome speech? Yeah, I also want to give a big shout out to every single one of our partners, every single one of our sponsors, and of course, every single one of you for being here. And to the team as well, to the team at I4G. It has been a really, really tough year, but at the same time, it has been amazing. It is a privilege working together with you. It's been a privilege, sharing, being able to call you a colleague, being able to, share stories and share some horrors. Yeah, so I'm really proud of every single one of you, to be honest. Sitting here as a programs manager, I've been able to see so many lives transformed ever since 2020. Being able to graduate a couple of you that completed our courses, to join the alumni community. We started the boot camp for the first time this year as well. The boot camp has been really, really amazing. We've seen so many success stories from them. We've seen a growth of, people getting jobs from less than 5% to about over 11% with just the boot camp in just 1 month alone. So this has been really good. That's been a really great year, and we'll always try to do better. I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I do know that next year we are going to be sharing some job openings here at I4G. So watch out. We're also going to be doing a lot more in the talent placements side of things as well. So if you see any opportunity, I think one of those things that you should do as a community member is, if you see any opportunity that's going to be beneficial to your fellow community member, ensure that you do share it. If you see any opportunity that's going to be beneficial for us as I4G, where, you think we should apply for this opportunity, it's going to be good for, thousands of people, do make sure that you share. We're always open to trying out stuff because we want to impact lives. We want to ensure that everybody is good. We want to ensure that we're able to get more people to earn more money so that you get to give back to the community, you get to give back to I4G. So yeah, let me allow the next panel session to come up. In the meantime, I think we're going to listen to some music, I think. But yeah, I'm going to allow Fauzi to continue from here. And once again, yeah, I'm really proud of you. You never ever we never get tired of saying that. We're proud of you. We're rooting for you at I4G, and cheers.
All right, thank you so much, Hanifa. Our guest speakers are here. Excited to see them here. We have Tammy, who is the remote work queen, and we have Aigun, who I've been talking about in our emails, that we have a senior executive from Meta who's coming to speak with everybody here. Just so that I know that you can hear me, I want to see your emojis flying in the YouTube comment section. I want you to show some excitement. Let our speakers know that you're excited to have them here. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So because we're running a bit late, I'm so sorry, Tammy. I know that you were expecting to be speaking at this time, but we started a little bit late because we had some network difficulties. So we're going to be starting with Aigun. Hello, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hi.
Hello, I think I can hear you.
Ooh, okay. Okay, awesome. Can you hear us? Okay, Timmy can hear me. Thank you so much, Timmy. Aigun, can you hear us?
Yes, I can even see you. Yeah. Hello, do you hear me and see me?
Yes, we do. Hello.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, we can start, I guess, or we are waiting for some more people to join.
Can start. People are on the we're live streaming, so people are not on Zoom, but they're on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. I'm starting. I'll now share my screen now. Oh, I think I cannot share my screen because it's disabled.
Okay, I'm just going to make you a co-host now.
If you can, yeah.
Yes, I will do that. Yes, I think you can share your screen now.
Let me try. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Hi again. Thank you very much for having me here today. I will try to make everything quickly to make a short walkthrough about partnerships, about my personal experience in partnerships area. And later you can ask questions if you have any. So quickly about me, my name is Aygün Zerbalieva. I'm working at Meta I've been working at Meta for the last almost 3 years now. I started here as partner engineer, and later I switched to business engineer. These two roles are somehow similar to each other, but as a partner engineer, I worked more with direct Meta audience network partners. If you are interested on both media audience network, if you have low context on it, and if you have time, we can later talk about that more, or you can ping me anytime in LinkedIn or anywhere you want, and we can discuss, talk about that more detailed. And yeah, I had more than 10 years of experience in communicating and working, building different relationships with partners at Meta, and in my previous company as well. I worked with a lot of partners in all over the world. I had a lot of partners in Africa, African countries as well, in Sierra Leone, in Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, like almost in all the countries. So I have some experience as well. And yeah, cooperated on various levels with more than 50 partners. I told various levels because it was like my previous company experience, it was my Meta experience, at Meta as partner engineer experience, at business engineer experience. So again, I will talk more about all the experience that I had, but we don't have too much time, so I will try quick. So yeah, let's start. What are global partnerships in general? Why it's useful? Why we ever need that? So I will start with that one. So we as humans just tend to stick to the people and traditions whom we know, whom we are familiar with. We try to work with we are not very close to. We are not open to opening our minds to the new perspective, like I want to work with the company which is located in different continent or some region, which has some different traditions and other. All of us are slightly hesitating to build such a relationship. So in order to, but even if we don't want that, these are some new perspective for us. So it may be really beneficial for us to build such a relationship, but we all are hesitant to do that. And global partnerships, this is where global partnerships come to the stage when we try to build relationships, but not in all the people in the world, but we do relationships with the partners, which are in turn will open some new opportunities to work with different people in all over the world. Like so, even our meeting today is done like through the partnerships, through some relationships with each other. So I would glad to meet you all, to share my knowledge with you, but I would not know you without any partnership experiences. So this is where we really need that. Addressing global challenges and achieving shared goals together. So as I said, it's not that one of the partners need these relationships. It's very useful for partners, for the partners themselves, for the partnering companies, for all the stakeholders there, all the people here. Currently, by the way, I'm talking about global partnerships as a business partnerships, but it can be even personal partnerships. It can be some community partnerships and etc. But today I'm talking about more like my experience by business partnerships, by relationships that the companies are building with each other. So it's basically bridge between organizations from different regions. As I said, if I open a company, I'm located currently in Europe. I used to live in Asia, but I don't know anything about the company culture, about the working principles in, let's say, Latin America or Australia. I don't know nothing about those companies. So what would I do as a first stage? I would try to find some good partners in those areas that know their markets well, that know their regulations well, that know the companies that have different principles. One of them have some companies may be super picky about, I don't know, some regulations, privacies, and other companies are very picky about like knowing technical details of how the tools are working. So I would first go and build bridges with the partners. Sharing resources, expertise, and knowledge. So it's again, like if I'm partnering with someone, I will try to be on track. I will be on the same level as my partners. So will be so the same will be done by themselves. So we will always be aligned with each other. They know something new. They have some interesting knowledges and expertises. I will be on track. They will share it with me, and so will do I. Cooperation, collaboration, and mutual understanding between different countries and regions. It's more about what I mentioned about traditions of different companies, understanding different markets, and building cooperation, relying on the experience that the partners have with each other. For example, currently at Meta, I work with Meta's partners, where and these partnerships is called like authorized sales partners. So basically, at the regions where Meta do not have any Meta sales offices, we don't have any Meta company, Meta branches at all. We have authorized sales partners. So in those regions, we have these partners which are working on behalf of us. So they do whatever we would do if we would be in this location. They know the market, they know the advertisers, they know the they know the agencies. By the way, our end clients are advertisers and agencies, so we are trying to reach them through our partners. And again, this is the same issue that without our authorized sales partners, we would not know anything about our agencies, and it would take years for us to know well the market. They know very well which issues may happen. They know about political issues that's going on in this region. They know well which regulations issues, and they know everything about their market. They know that this advertiser is worth to work with them. Even, for example, we don't know about advertiser, but our systems may show that, oh, this advertiser is doing something. We think they are doing something wrong, but ASP come to us, they say that, look, no, this advertiser is a very good advertiser. We know them, we trust them, we work with them for several years. So you don't have to worry about that. So this is how these cooperations and collaborations are built. We don't know well our end clients, but we know our partners, and we know how to work with partners. Why it's important for growth? So yeah, it's important. As I mentioned before, it's first of all, it's an access to new markets and customers. If I work with a partner, I don't have to worry about the new perspectives, new opportunities that coming up to this region, because my partner knows that. They are always on track. They always know what's happening in the market. They always will share the new ideas, the new perspectives, new clients, new opportunities with me. So I don't want to have to worry about that. This is what's the main context of it. Knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing is basically, and innovation, they are somehow similar to each other. So let's say we are working on some product that's working with some different machine learning technologies, with AI, with NLP, and etc. So by building knowledge sharing, we are always on track. Our partner will come and say, you know, we have a lot of clients in the market today that are working with birth technologies. So this is the new technology that's widely being used, and we need to know well this technology. These are my knowledge sharing. This is my resources that I currently use to build these technologies, to know, to be updated about everything new that's coming up. So we just share the knowledge with each other. We share the innovations that's coming up with each other, and we are always on track. It's much easier to do with partnerships rather than doing it separately by alone. So it's never good to walk alone, especially in this very fast-growing world. Efficiency, cost efficiency, productivity increase, and higher profitability. So in my previous example from Meta and authorized sales partners, if we would decide to work with no partners and let's say open some sales offices in different regions, for us it would mean opening new offices in different regions, hiring some new sales teams, hiring new people, training them, paying taxes, working a lot of regulations, and it would mean very huge amount of work for us. So cost efficiency and productivity increase means that by having just partners in this region, we save a lot of finances that we would have spent with all the offices, recruitment, and etc. And we do it very fastly. So it's very time efficient and it's very cost efficient to have partnerships. And almost all the partnerships that's being done are mostly also being done in favor of efficiency. Risk mitigations. It's mostly about regulations. For example, if there are a lot of regulations that's changing daily, like GDPR regulations, some GDPR regulations in Europe, a lot of regulations are being changed, like for user privacy, a lot of regulations is being changed about like how to handle and store data, and it's changing with amazing speed. And in order to be tracked about that, partners always inform us, like, do you know there is some new changes coming up in our region? We need to be prepared for that. We need to prepare our systems for that, or our reporting. We need to make sure that we are ready for these changes. And these changes are not being like announced like a week ago. We need to know about them like a year ago to prepare everything, our systems, ourselves, our mindset to these new regulations. So those regulations are different in all over the world in different locations. So we are always on track by the help of effective relationships with our partners. Reputation and enhanced brand reputation. So it's mainly about making popular your brand in a bigger audience. So if I share my experience and tell you about my, let's say, some new startups that is working some cool new technologies, that's building some awesome tool for like, I don't know, in AI sphere or something else, you would be impressed, but it's not something that you would fully rely on, fully trust, because it's just some startup. But if I tell you that, yeah, I built some startup company, I'm partnering with Google, we are launching soon in Africa in some as beta, and then we will move to alpha, you will be really impressed. I mean, you will want to know more about my brand, you will want to know more about my product. Maybe you will be even eager to pay some money to test it. So this is all about like reputation and opening the new market by the help of the partnering. How to leverage global partnerships. So how to start building these relationships, how to start doing effective partnerships. First of all, it's always about researching companies in your industry that operate in other countries. So as I said, now at Meta, for example, we had 40 authorized sale partners that we are working with currently, but there are always new opportunities that may come up, and we need to be on track for that. And it's not about only Meta, it's about all the companies, all the individuals that are looking for new opportunities. So you don't have to be a big company to build partnerships. You can be just individual, trying to run your small business, but you have big ambitions. So this is also about you, not just big companies. Look for the companies that complement your strengths and weakness, and have a similar vision and values. So yeah, so it's not just about finding companies. These companies really need to be to share some the same values as you. You need to have similar mindset. You need to you need to have some common ground to go together, because otherwise you will go in one direction, your company will go in different direction, which is not going to be super effective. So you need to have similar mindset. Consider markets, position, resources, and expertise. And by the way, I try to be very quick. I guess we have just 2 minutes left now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will try to be very, very quick and jump to questions. Negotiate the terms and conditions with your partner and implement the partnership and monitor its progress regularly. So it's again about researching, about negotiating, because when you build partnerships, you need you need to negotiate your conditions together beforehand, because once you started your partnership, you cannot change it all the time. So you need to know your requirements. You need to build effective partnerships and implement a partnership and monitor its progress regularly. This is, for example, what I do currently in my current job. Even though we have partners and we have full trust with our partnerships, we always need to make sure that we are on track. We really, as I said, share the same understanding on what's going on, because there might be some misunderstandings, some discrepancies on how we are working, how they are working. So we always need to monitor. We cannot just rely on the partner and forget about everything. So we always need to track everything. I had some success stories to share now. It's mostly about in Africa market, how effective tools were built by the help of partnerships. Again, we'll try to be super quick here. It's M-Pesa Mobile Financial Services. Sorry. I think I stopped sharing my screen.
We can still see your.
Sorry?
We can still see your screen.
Okay. Okay. I lost my screen for some reason. 1 second, sorry. It's weird. You still see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. It's some interesting success stories that have really interesting stories, but we are out of time, so I'll just will be quick. M-Pesa mobile transfer services for and partnering with Vodafone. So it was a small startup that was working on transferring payments with between mobile services, and after integrating with Vodafone, with Safaricom, they got, as far as I know, very popular across Africa and different countries. Andela and Google. Andela was also a very promising startup that was opened in Africa. It was about training software engineers, hiring software engineer, training them, and finding jobs for them. And I think they had more than 10,000 graduates at that time. So when I started to work with Google to share knowledge, building partnerships, and by the help of Google, while trying to get jobs for the graduates, this product became super popular, and currently they are still having some internship programs partnered with Google. BRCK and Microsoft, it's again, it's an internet provider that's building internet, trying to launch internet in the location that do not have good internet cache. And they also started to work with Microsoft, and it was very beneficial for their progress as well. Jumia and MasterCard, it's called Amazon for Africa, which is again started as a small startup where you purchase some services or goods and make payments within the tool. And after starting to work with MasterCard, is integrating with MasterCard, the service, became super popular in Africa market as well. And Simbrella as Safaricom, it's my personal experience where I worked before Meta. We were building mobile services for different companies. It was in Ethiopia, I think, that we were struggling to reach the client, to convince our client that our tool is really good. So after starting partnering with Safaricom, our product became extremely popular in Ethiopia market, and then we launched in Congo, I think, after Safaricom partnership, and few more countries. So these are the pictures from our Simbrella partnerships. These are some photos that I found for M-Pesa, for Andela and Jumia, and etc. So just to have some context here. Yeah, and here was just general recommendations on how to build effective relationships, how to build partnerships, and how to have a mindset of moving forward, working on your personal development. Then there are plenty of courses, plenty of MBA studies that are not always paid, so you can find some cheap or even unpaid services that you can take, and training services that you can take to build your entrepreneurial mindset and to work on this direction in future. So yeah, questions if you have any, and if you have time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I have one question here in the chat box, but before I take that question, I'm also going to ask, I'm going to ask my own question first.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who are listening are people who are just starting out their careers in tech. And so I wanted to ask you if you have one advice for them to better position themselves for global partnerships and maybe collaboration with other individuals, globally.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It was one of the parts of my slide, but I had small time. But it's great that you asked it, so I can share something here. Yeah, First of all, yeah, I would recommend always check, because currently a lot of hackathons, a lot of um, a lot of programs that is going on. It's mostly about hackathons that are being done by big companies or big universities. So I would recommend always to monitor what's going on, try to take part in them. There are a lot of programs where you can join some summits, some seminars, and where you can know more about about new opportunities that coming up. Just to have some partnership mindset in your brain, that these partnerships that I mentioned before, they are not built some extraordinary people. They are just built by you, us, by all the people who are listening us. So just to be confident in yourself that you can do that, then you can really achieve that. And just to monitor, always be on track on what's going on in the world. And if they have some chance, as I said, maybe pursue some opportunities in bigger universities, or I mentioned in my previous slide about Andela that's working with Google. It's, for example, one of those opportunities that people that are pursuing software engineering, opportunities that may take chance of. So companies as Google, as Meta itself, as Microsoft, are regularly having such programs that you can take and be successful in. Yeah, those
All
would
right,
be.
awesome. Thank you so much. So yes, you said monitor what's going on and partake in, events, summits.
Mhm.
Yes, thank.
Yeah.
So the question I have here is, as an individual with no business or startup, how do I leverage collaboration on a global scale? I think it's sort of has something to do with the question that I asked, but if you have anything to add.
Yeah, it depends. It highly depends on what you want to achieve. I mean, do you want to move your personal brand? Do you have some personal brand you want to make popular, or you want some personal career ambitions? It highly depends on what exactly are your ambitions. If you are having some small brand and you want to make it popular to higher markets, I would maybe recommend to try to build partnerships. Just first of all, I had a slide previously that to know better the market, that the partnership opportunities that come up in the market, and just to try reach them, try to present yourself from your strengths. What are you doing great? Why they should trust you? What they will achieve. They are more interested on what they will achieve if they start partnering you. So try to bring something on your plate, that if you work with me, I will be great in doing this. I will be great in doing that. So just to prepare some good presentation of yourself. And if you are pursuing some career opportunities of yourself, I would just recommend you to look into different companies, that big companies, small companies, doesn't matter, that are what they are requiring. I mean, if you want to be hired by those companies, you can find plenty of information in there, even in their official website, on what they are looking into. For example, if you want to work with partners, what I mean is that if you want to work with partners at Meta, for example, or at Google, you can just apply as an employee for those companies, and how they recruit, how they hire, what are their values. It's always public information in all the websites. If I can help with something, just ping me, for example. I can try to find some information for you. And yeah, just prepare for the interviews, to apply to the companies. And I believe that you will be successful. If you are here, if you are listening to me, it means that you are already interested in opening your mind to different opportunities. So I believe you will be successful in future as well. Yeah, it was a bit generic question. I hope I somehow answer this.
Yes, thank you so much. While you were speaking, about 3 to 4 more questions popped in. However, we're running out of time, so I'm just going to try and rush through. The first one, I'm not sure I understand. Do you provide free intern for startups? I'm not sure this question is for her, so if it's for Ingressive for Good, maybe send us an email so we can better answer your question. There's another question here on, can you have a global partner by just presenting an idea? Or do you have to have something on ground working? How best? I think that's half of the question. Do I have to have a working thing, or can I present an idea?
Yeah.
And then the second part is, how best can you boost confidence to your potential partner to let them know that your business is viable?
Yeah. Regarding the first question, it's a question that I was asking myself a lot as well. But my personal answer to this question was that no, you cannot come up just with idea, because there are 9 or 10 billions of people on Earth currently. All of us have some ideas, but there is no human capability to consider of all of these ideas. So it's like time consuming, energy consuming. It's just impossible. So this is the reason why having just an idea which is not working is not enough. Like, idea without implementation is just an idea, and you cannot convince anyone. I cannot say that you cannot convince anyone, but maybe there is someone that will still get convinced, but generally speaking, if you want to build trust, you want to convince your partners to work with you, you will need to have some working implementations of your ideas. They need to make sure that you are serious in your intentions. Your idea is not an idea, you are able to implement it, and it's just working. I mean, it's not an idea, it's working, and they can see the proof that they are working. They will need to want to see some metrics of how it's working. They will want to see how effective it's working, how useful it's for people, how promising it's for people and for themselves as well. So this is first question. And second question was, could you please remind me? Sorry.
How do you boost confidence in them to convince them that it's a viable business?
Okay, yeah. First of all, it should be relevant to what they are doing already. So if you come with super cool idea, but it's not somehow related to this partner and to this partner's clients, they cannot, even if they want to help you, if they want to work with you, but they don't have enough experience, knowledge sharing, they don't have enough tool to work with you. So you need to make sure that this partner's work is relevant to your work. You are helpful for each other, you for them and they for you. This is the first thing. And the second thing, you need to have really good working tool already. So when you come to them, you present what you have already. It needs to be, if it's like application, it's not to be bug free, it's not to be resistant to high load, for example, or it should work stable. It should have low amount of, let's say, customer complaints. So these tools that you're presenting needs to be working one. And yeah, you need to also be show your professionalism. They need to see that you are capable to work with them. So you will not just partner with them and put everything on their shoulders. You will partner with them. So they need to make sure that you have good team, or you are just, if you are working alone, you are really responsible partner, you are really reliable partner to them. And for this, it's I think it's somehow like, it's not something that you can do exactly to show you as yourself as a good partner. They will see it in communication with you, in relation with you. It will come with time.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I have more questions, but I'm going to try and just pick a few that that you haven't answered yet. So someone says, good presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have two questions. First, does Meta offer a partnership? If it does, how can one be with Meta and reach out? What do you look for in partnerships? Is it all industries or are they structured towards specific industries?
Is it sorry? I'm not 100 sure that I understand the question correctly, but we'll try
So,
to answer. Yeah,
the person is trying to find out. The person is trying to ask if Meta has some specific industries that they partner with, or can they partner with any industry?
Yeah, currently, for example, if you are talking about partnering Meta with in different locations, as I said, for example, me myself worked with different Meta partners. But Meta currently we are talking about very huge partners across different regions, having like millions of subscribers. So, for example, me myself, I currently have. I'm working with ROAR, which is an Asian partner of us, like Intravision, Aleph, and etc. So these are the opportunities that also those companies applied. They passed through some processes, requirements by Meta. I mean, they did not become Meta's partners in one day. We had a lot of requirements, a lot of check, how this company is compliant with our requirements and etc. So it's a long process, but yeah, it's possible. But if the question is about like some, I think I might guess that they want to understand whether they come with their ideas or some tool to Meta and become Meta partners. If this is the question, here I'm not 100% sure that there are some open opportunities that are coming up currently, but I believe in future the Meta has some apprenticeship programs that you may apply as a first step, or Meta has some hackathons where you can be a part of it. And as a first step, you can be a part of these programs, and later you can, I think, present your ideas as well. Does it answer
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because we're running out of time, we're not going to be able to take the rest of the
No worries.
here.
Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to add that.
Thanks so much for coming to speak with our
No worries. And if you have any follow-up questions, any clarification, just feel free to ping me. I will try to help with whatever I can. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Super helpful. The community is thanking you in the chat box. We're grateful that you came in, and yes, we're going to reach out to you with the rest of their questions and maybe even find another opportunity for you to speak with them when there's more time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me today, and good luck with everything that you do.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I hope you guys are learning a lot. I hope you're having some fun. We're moving into the next session, which is actually a panel session. I have Tammy here. She's the remote queen. She's going to talk to us about, finding remote jobs. And then when you have a remote job, how do you keep it through productivity and collaboration? She's going to be doing that together with Hanifa, the programs and community manager at Ingressive for Good. So sit tight. Adedolapo, who is also here, is going to be moderating that panel. And yeah, before we get started, Timmy, hi, can you hear us?
Loud and clear. Hello.
It's good to see
you. It's good to be here. It's good to be back.
Honey. Awesome. Dola, over to you. Let's get started. We cannot hear you. Your microphone is still muted.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Fauzi. Hi, Tammy. Hi,
Hi there.
Anifa. I hope you're doing great today. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm just going to get started. I'm Dolapo, a program associate at Ingressive for Good, and I'm going to be moderating this panel session. So I'm going to be asking Tammy my first question. In a remote work setting, how do one maintain a sense of accountability and productivity?
That's an interesting one. Thank you guys for having me back here. I am excited to be able to share with the community again. So I have two screens, by the way. To be at Dolapo, I am coming back to answer your question. I just wanted to give context. So I have my computer in front of me where I'm having this call, and I have my phone so that I can read comments and keep in touch with what is happening on YouTube. So I really want to say thank you guys for having me back. To answer the Dolapo's question, you've landed a remote job and you're worried about staying as productive as possible or staying as accountable as possible. And I think that this is a major work crisis that a remote employer would have, in that they're worried that, if I have this person over, if I employ a team, how do I ensure that they're doing the best work that they can? Um, the truth is there's no way that they can track that. They have to be able to trust you, who is now the one who is, working for them, to be able to do your best work. And the way that you can show that you're doing your best work is, number one, you need to be very visible within the company, right? They need to see you. They need to know that you're there. And most companies operate an asynchronous model where you don't necessarily have to be at work 9 to 5, as long as you're doing the work that you're required to do, as long as you're showing up as much as you're expected to show up, they wouldn't mind. But your visibility is like top of the box. We need to know that you're available. We need to know that you're showing up. We need to know that your contribution is being seen and your impact to the business needs are also being seen. On your own side of the equation, however, how do you stay productive? The first thing I recommend for everyone who is trying to work remotely is find your own workspace. Your workspace does not have to be an office. I have an office, which is great, but if you cannot afford to have an office in your house, you can have a desk and a table in your room. I stayed in the UK for about a year, and you know how UK houses are. Very small room. However, it was very important for me to be able to carve out a space for work and know that, look, once I'm here, it's all about work. If I leave this place, then I can go do Netflix in the sitting room, or I can go do wherever else, anywhere else. But my workspace is my sanctuary where work is done. Right. And if you do that, then, you take away half of the distractions that can get you away from work. The second thing that you also need to do is to be able to have a functional to-do list. Have a start time for work and have a finish time. If you work remotely, there's the chances that you're feeling like, I should be work. I can get to it whenever, or I'm working from home, so I can work in the midnight. I can work at 10 p.m. No problem. What that does is it starts to build up resentment within you, where you don't feel like your life is separate from work, and you're working longer than somebody who is working in an office. Somebody who works in an office, leaves the house at maybe 7 or something, and they're back at 6 o'clock. Their work day has ended. They can do everything else they want to do in their evenings. But you started work at 7 a.m. But because you were very distracted through your day, or you were very into the work, you don't know when to finish. And so because of that, you start to extend yourself unnecessarily, and then you start to have a sense of burnout. So have a start time, have a finish time, but more importantly, have a structured to-do list that helps you keep track of tasks to be done, and work to be done during the day, so you can attribute your effort into outcomes. You can say, look, I sent an email and this was the outcome that I generated from that. So yeah, those are my top tips and tricks that I would recommend for accountability and for work productivity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tammy. I think one point that stood out for me is setting up a desk and table. There's somebody that told me that every morning when he wakes up, he will take his bath. Then he works remotely, dress up as if he's going to the work, He's going to a workspace and just go by his corner. He has an alarm of some sort for his for working hours, and then he sits there, work, takes a break, come back, and I'm like, wow, why the drama? You're working from home, just relax and chill. But yeah, that has proven to be very effective for him. So I so much agree with you. So I'm going to be asking Anifa the same question. So Anifa, how do one maintain a sense of responsibility and accountability when working in a remote setting?
All right, thank you so much for that question. I think Timmy has, mentioned a lot of it. One of those things that I would like to add would be that having your own personal, goals outlined for yourself. So there's this thing that I started years ago where I have like 3 different ways of writing out my tasks that kind of helps me, and I prefer it handwritten compared to, my phone. I do use the calendar, as I'll get to that. So one way is I have like a big major book where the explanation, the bigger task, the everything, they're all there. Then I have another, I don't know what to call, like an A4 paper, right? That lists out everything that I have to do for a month or for a week, right? Mostly a week because a month would be much longer. So I have that. And then my little daily task will be on my sticky notes that I attach to my desk or to my laptop. Those are the ones that are, staring right at me, and I have to check them off. Yes, and checking off your tasks is also really a great skill because it gives you a sense of satisfaction that you've done like 5 out of 6 tasks, you've done 8 out of 10 tasks, and you're like you've achieved the entire thing you need to do in the world. So checking off your task as well really helps in keeping your productivity level very high. Then I also mentioned making use of your calendar. One of those things that I noticed, within the community was that a lot of them were now able to learn how to, or they don't know how to use the calendar. And your calendar is there to, serve as reminder, especially the Google Calendar. You get like 30 minutes reminder, 10 minutes reminder. It just really helps you to remember things that you might have forgotten because it's right there on your calendar. So you can schedule your meetings, you can schedule some like important stuff that don't necessarily have to be on your sticky notes. So those are like some of my own personal ways. Those are some things that you can also adopt. Yeah, I think I'll stop there.
Amazing. That's down. Thank you so much, Anifa. Thank you.
So, Dalapo, you were freezing. Do you want to kind of take the question again? And
Yes,
you're muted.
yes.
Or maybe you're not loud enough. Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay, fine. So I was asking that how do you maintain effective communication across team members, locations?
How do you maintain effective communication across what? We lost her, I think.
Yes, I think you did. Let's see. I know what the question is. Yeah.
While we're waiting for the last person to join, I'm just going to try and answer. I'll be asked the question. So the Lapa was asking, how do you maintain effective communication across team members who are in different locations? Different practices, different global styles. Somebody, different practices, culture. Yes, that's the word. Yes. Timmy, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I was wondering who the question was for. Okay. How do you maintain effective communication? The first is for most remote companies, you would have a collaborative tool that you use where you are able to collaborate and communicate with everyone. For most companies, that's Slack. Some people use Basecamp, and I don't know if there is any other one, but the most popular is Slack. Some people use Teams, Microsoft Teams. Some people use WhatsApp. So for people who use Slack, and that's what my company uses, um, first of all, we have a very diverse team where we have people all over the world, people from India, from Singapore, from Philippines, people from the US, people from Jamaica. It's a super diverse team. So yeah, the first is to leverage the tool that you're already given to ensure that you're keeping the communication loop as tight as possible. It's the same as having a chat with your colleagues at work with a very traditional workspace. You want to make sure that if there is any update, anything to be shared, you're sending it to them, as soon as possible. But beyond that is to be very proactive in your communication. It's knowing that something needs to be communicated, and before you are asked about details or updates about a certain thing, you're taking the lead to communicate, so you don't wait to be asked. You take the personal initiative and show agency to say, look, I know that this is important, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about or an update about this. So there is that very major thing that I recommend for my team to say, look, I need you to step up in terms of how you communicate. The second thing is, as far as remote work is concerned, and because meetings can be lost in transit, or your messages can be missed, in the sea of lots of messages coming in to the Slack channel. You want to make sure that you're over communicating. The moment you feel like I said this thing 1 million times, that's when you started communicating. That's when you really, really started communicating. So the fact that you shared it in a private channel yesterday, go to a public channel today and share it there. Go to another channel tomorrow and share it there. Otherwise, people will say they've never heard it before. So you want to make sure that you're over communicating at all times. Over communicate at all times. The third thing is to try to utilize video sometimes. And I know that this is it's a very controversial thing to say, especially because, like, not a lot of people have time to watch you in a video. They want to read and go and just skip by. But some people would rather watch a Loom version of what you're trying to communicate to them. They would rather watch you, communicate. They would remember what you say better than they remember what you wrote. So if you're trying to, pass a message across, and it's a very important one, you can obviously come up with a documentation of what you're trying to say. Documentation is also a very important piece I will get to in a minute, but you can document what you're trying to say. But after you've documented it, you can record a Loom video. Loom is another tool that we use to record very short videos about what we're trying to pass across. So record a Loom video to share what you've written out in the Loom, and more so to connect with the people that you're trying to share the information with. And I spoke about documentation earlier. Documentation is one of the big pieces of remote work or remote companies. If you went through something, if you went through a challenge and it was hard for you to solve that challenge, even if it wasn't hard, if it never existed anywhere where you can refer to a document and say, oh, this is how we do this thing here, you are the first person who is doing it. It's your prerogative, it's your responsibility to draft out a standard operating process for that particular task. And that is the process of documenting, how that task is done, so that if someone else is coming into the company or is coming into that particular situation in the future and they're trying to do the exact thing that you just did, they can learn what you did that worked for you, and they don't have to start from scratch. So documentation is also a very big part, a very big piece, I beg your pardon, of working remotely and of communicating. So document, you record Loom, you communicate and over communicate, and you show your proactivity in just being able to share details without being asked for it. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, I phased out for a bit. Thank you so much, Timmy. Thank you for answering the question. So I'm going to be asking Anifa my next question. I want to ask, like, how do one overcome the feeling of isolation or like being secluded? You know, when you're working remotely, it's not as if you're like working amidst people or in an office where you can just say hi to people casually. So when you're working remotely, how do you overcome that feeling of isolation?
That's a very, very good question. I think at I4G, right, some of those we've tried many, many things, right? I think there was a time we resorted to coming to being hybrid. We were coming like twice in a week at the office and then staying remotely at work, but that didn't necessarily work because, you know, a lot of people are coming from so very different places, and especially for those that are, you know, working fully remote. So I'm going to share some of those things that has worked for me. One is try not to get stuck staying indoor all day, all week, all month. And this is saying this to myself as well, because I think once you're working remotely, you get used to staying indoor, you get used to working from morning till night, which is like a bad habit that, you know, you actually should stop. So you have your resumption time, say 8 a.m. and you've had your baths, you're on your table, you're working. In between work, you want to also you want to also like stretch, take a walk, you know, go and collect some sun on your skin, right? And then at the end of the day, you also want to have an end time. You want to close your laptop by 5. Oh my God, I feel like I'm not giving the advice that I'm taking for myself.
Right.
But no, to be honest, really, you should have a starting time and a closing time, right? It's one of those things that really help. And then take a walk, go out, just walk around your estate, walk around your area. You also want to ensure that you go for events, right? You go for social events, remember your friends, go out with them, go for tech events. If you're a techie, of course, all of you are a techie. So go for tech events, network with people, and just, you know, just try to not, you know, forget that you actually have friends. Also, schedule times that you catch up with your friends, even if it is virtually. So then you remove the feeling of isolation. I try to talk to my friends at least once. There's some friends I talk to like at least once a day. And there's some friends I talk to at least twice in a week. If you're not living with your family members, ensure you are actually reaching out to them and you're speaking with them and you're, you know, catching up constantly as well. Because if you don't make an effort to do that, you tend to forget because you're working. Your life is kind of revolving around that work, around working remotely, and then just doing that. And you know, we're battling what's the word, isolation. We're battling the feeling of being alone, which is one of those things that community is here to actually alleviate. So ensure that you are being a good community member. Ensure that, you know, you're also you know, ensure that you're also engaging with your community members, even if it is on a group or Telegram or wherever your community is being hosted, right? So yeah, I think that answers my question.
Yes, yeah, you did perfectly. Thank you so much, Hanifa. So we're wrapping up with this final session. I'd like to have Eve Temi have any final words. And I'm coming back to you, Hanifa, as well for your final word. Just like 30 seconds. Temi, please go first.
Final words. So regarding working remotely, I think the biggest piece, and this is the thing that you can do also if you're still job searching and you're looking for remote work, which is where I think I'm more suited, is teaching you how to land remote jobs. So if you're looking for remote jobs, and I think this is something you can represent, you can add to your CV to make you a more attractive candidate for that job. Don't just have it, be the person that is about it, you know. But I'm just saying, if you're still job searching, this is something you can add to your CV, is that you are very big on ownership and on on showing personal agency. A company would not hire you to work remotely for them if they don't trust that you're able to be a person of your own self, that you're able to self-motivate, that even though you feel like I just want to be scrolling through Instagram, you can be a responsible human being and say work is waiting, and I have to be at work. So just being able to show that self ability to self-govern, ability to have that personal agency over yourself is a very important piece of working remotely. And as a business owner, if I'm about to hire you remotely, the first thing I want to check for is how well are you able to own things? How well are you able to own yourself, or to have mastery over your own self? And if I give you a task, or if there is a task to be done, do I have to micromanage you and tell you, oh, you need to send 10 emails tomorrow? Or would you take initiative to say, yeah, I know what needs to be done. I'm going to own what needs to be done, and I'm going to show up as someone who is very interested in the growth of this business, rather than somebody who is here to earn my pay.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Temi. Hanifa, any final words? About 10 seconds.
Okay. So my
30
final
seconds,
words,
Yeah.
mostly to the ones just starting out, especially as interns or even as volunteers, very similar to what Temi has also said as well. Take initiative, own your work, own the work. One of those things that I started early on was not waiting for, take permissions, of course. You don't want to send out an email without assuring that you're following the company's policy. But I took so much initiative that I was able to send out stuff without my manager having to go through it, before sending it out. So read a lot, learn a lot, because you're working remotely. A lot of times we miss out on those things that we get when you're working physically, because then you're seeing other people actually doing some work. You can, roll up to somebody's table and ask questions, and we don't get to have that working remotely. So find ways around it. Right? So go around it, think positive, right? Be what's the word? Be teachable, right? Be teachable. Don't be stuck at one thing. And just keep learning from other people online. Keep asking questions. And don't also stay in isolation, right? Meet with people, have calls, go on Twitter, do some Twitter banter, but don't insult people, Sha. But yeah, that is for me.
I like the last part. Thank you so much, Anifa. Thank you so much, Temi. I don't think remote work is going anywhere. It's there to stay, so we better just adjust to it. And yeah, so amazing. Thank you. And we'll carry on with the event. I'll pass the mic to Fauzi in a few minutes.
Thank you for having me, and bye. Enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you for having me as well. Bye, Temi.
Bye. Thank you so much, Temi. Thank you so much, Hanifa. Temi has dropped off, and I wanted to hype her a little bit, but it's all good. Okay. So now we have our final session for today. We're going to be talking about AI and beyond. It's the in thing now, and we have two very special people who are going to break it down for us, so that you're better equipped for next year. You're better equipped to plan the skills that you want to learn next year, the things that you want to incorporate in your tech career next year. So I have Oluwaseun and Bemi. They will be speaking about AI and beyond, basically. I think they have a slide to share. It's not a panel session, both of them together will present the slides and just share what they have with you. Please drop your questions in the chat box. This is a session that you don't want to keep your questions don't send your questions to hello@ingressive.org because Shehu is not there and Bemi is not there. So drop your questions in the chat box now so that they can respond to your questions and you're better equipped. Hi Shehu, hi Bemi. Can you hear me?
Hey, Fauzi. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi Bemi.
Bemi, can you hear us?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yep. We can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Shehu, are you going to grace us with your face?
Not now, anyway.
All right, you guys, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Bemi, over to you, please.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm going to share my screen now. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Your screen is not up yet.
Okay. I'm not sure I can share my screen.
Give me a second. I'm working on that. You should be able to share your screen.
Bemi, can share your screen now.
No. Okay, so our section we be talking about the future of artificial intelligence, and we're going to be specifying the challenges and opportunities for tech careers. AI is literally like the newest thing here. Everybody uses ChatGPT, everybody's using AI. AI is incorporated into every tool that we use as software engineers now. What does this mean for the average software engineer, the average developer, or UI, UX designer? The current state of artificial intelligence is no longer like a buzzword. I remember when I started coding, AI was just one of those things here that you hear about. But now AI is literally a force. It has become a part and parcel of everything you do. In my day-to-day life as a software engineer, I use ChatGPT so much. I use GitHub Copilot. I use all of these AI tools that are already integrated into the stuff we do as software engineers. So it is no longer just something that is there. It's something that we have to live with, that we have to use every day. It is not just rapidly growing, like I said in this slide, it is astonishingly impacting technology. It is impacting how we work, how we live, how we code, how we design. It is changing our lives, our careers. Everything literally is being transformed by artificial intelligence in the tech industry right now. And what does this mean for the average tech professional? Ever since the announcement of ChatGPT, I remember the week it was announced, there has always been this evolving conversation on LinkedIn and Twitter about AI taking our jobs. There's always you hear people make posts about, is AI going to take your job? Is AI going to take your job? Is AI not going to take your job? And I'm not even going to lie, I've also made a post like that before on LinkedIn, yeah. And honestly, it is a very valid concern. It is a very valid discussion. AI is so cool. So it's something that you really have to address. I love AI so much. I use AI literally in everything I do now. So will AI replace me as a front-end developer or as a back-end developer or as a UI UX designer? Will it take my job? I think that's like the first concern that people tend to have, even before we dive into the benefits or the challenges that artificial intelligence pose for us as tech professionals. The concern is a very valid one. I think people try to invalidate it, but I think it's very valid. If I can literally type a prompt on ChatGPT and tell it to write me a React component in TypeScript, a React component that does this and this, you know, just the instruction, and ChatGPT can come up with the entire component, and I can literally just paste this in my VS Code, and it's going to work perfectly. I might have to make some changes, but it's really going to work. So it is something that should be addressed because it's so powerful, it's so cool, and the concern of having artificial intelligence tools take the job of the average tech professional is a very valid one. And we're not going to dive into that, but I just want to like let you know that that concern is valid. If you have that question, if you have that doubt, if you have been thinking about how AI is so crazy, people are saying this, people are saying that, it is very valid. Yes, AI is actually very crazy. It can do the most crazy things for you, yeah. So I don't know, before we dive into the challenges and the benefits of artificial intelligence for tech professionals, I don't know if Sean, do you want to contribute to this slide before I move to the next one?
You can just go ahead.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So what are the opportunities and challenges for the average tech professional? Yeah. So we have integration of AI-powered features. Those are like the opportunities. We're going to talk about the opportunities first. We have the integration of AI-powered features. We can now use AI to power several features on our project, on our product. We can integrate these features and make our products more scalable, make them more user focused, you know, make our users interact more with whatever it is we are building, our web app, our mobile app. We can integrate AI for several features, several mind-blowing features that would normally not be able to do without the presence of artificial intelligence. The next opportunity is skill enhancement and competitive edge. So as a tech professional, integrating the use of artificial intelligence, learning about artificial intelligence, and, you know, integrating these features that are AI powered into your project or your product gives you like some form of skill enhancement. You know, you get to have this competitive edge that I am not just a front-end developer that uses React or Vue or Angular, but I have a competitive edge of being able to work very well with artificial intelligence powered tools or features in my project. And the last one, and the last opportunity I have here, which is literally my most favorite one, is innovative ideas. I think the presence of AI in the tech industry is literally helping people with innovative ideas. You know, people are using AI-powered tools and integrating it into their product. And having that having that power, having that tool that can do something very, very mind-blowing, having it at your disposal is literally opening the door to innovative and mind-blowing ideas. I have seen people build stuff off ChatGPT, and many of these products that I have come across are extremely mind-blowing and innovating. They are very life-changing. And yes, all of these are thanks to artificial intelligence and the opportunities that it brings for us as tech professionals. But AI, with all of its numerous opportunities that we cannot talk about, we cannot finish talking about on this call, it also comes with several challenges. It's not just it just doesn't come with opportunities. It comes with several challenges, and one of the major ones that I am noticing and that a lot of people, tech professionals around the world, are confirming is the skill gaps that AI gives. Yeah, so it is creating a very wide skill gap because some people can now do so much more than other people when they integrate the power of artificial intelligence into their day-to-day work. Job market dynamics, of course, if there are skill gaps and the gaps are getting wider, the market dynamics in the industry, in the job market will change. because now you have people that can do several mind-blowing stuff, and you have people that are like, okay, they are just, they are there. And that dynamics is something that is a challenge that you might have to face as a tech professional. Another challenge that AI poses is data privacy and security, because AI, in its power and in its mind-blowingness, it has quite a lot of access to our data. I don't know, there are several AI tools that I use myself, and it's very difficult to protect your data. It's very difficult. I was seeing a gist on LinkedIn or Twitter about this company that is stopping their employees from using ChatGPT because they've been having some data privacy issues. And these are some of the issues that AI can pose for us as tech professionals. There are some security issues. And like the last point, there can be some ethical issues that AI might pose for you as a tech professional, especially if you are integrating it, if you're using it on a day-to-day basis. So these are like challenges that you might experience, you might come across when you use AI, or just acknowledging the reality of the fact that artificial intelligence is now here with us, is incorporated into our day-to-day. These are the challenges that we are going to face. But then, as we have the challenges, we have the opportunities. I'm a very optimistic person. So I would say that we concentrate so much on the opportunities. Of course, we have to work and be conscious of the challenges that artificial intelligence poses as well, but also make use of the opportunities as much, and be conscious of the challenges. Sean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just own it.
All right, thank you. How can tech professionals navigate this evolving landscape of AI? AI is evolving. Actually, the tech industry, the tech world as a whole, is an ever-evolving landscape. When I started learning how to code, I don't know. I'm not coding the same way I used to code when I just started learning how to code. I feel like so many things have evolved, and we have taken in so many new technologies, so many new method of working. Yes, technology itself is an evolving landscape, but I think artificial intelligence, of course, a very vital part of technology, is super evolving. There are so many new things to deal with. There are so many new tools to learn how to use. There's so many, so many things in the market, so many tools around you that are being powered by artificial intelligence. So how do I, as a tech professional, as a software engineer, how do I navigate this evolving landscape of artificial intelligence? The first point here is skill development and continuous learning. When ChatGPT came, even I was at first I was so discouraged because he never gave me what I wanted. He's always saying nonsense. But then, you start to learn how to use these tools. You start to learn how to prompt them to give you what they want. You start to learn different technologies that can help you implement this AI tool into whatever project or product you're building. So you need to develop your skills. If you want to navigate this landscape of artificial intelligence, there has to be a place of continuously learning, continuously picking new things up. It doesn't mean that you are going to follow every new trend in the market, but then there has to be a conscious and intentional learning that you incorporate into being a tech professional that helps you to navigate artificial intelligence and use it to your utmost benefit. The second point is leveraging AI-driven tools. We have several AI-driven tools that you can use as software engineers. You have ChatGPT, you have GitHub Copilot. You have several tools that can save you time, save you energy. You do not necessarily have to do the things you do from scratch. There's whatever it is you're spending 1 hour doing, there's probably a tool out there that can help you to cut that 1 hour to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So leverage these tools, be open-minded to using these tools, be, just be open-minded. Don't limit yourself to doing things your way. Be open-minded to using as many tools as you can. You don't have to use them all, but whatever AI-driven tool is provided for you that is at your disposal, leverage it for your good, leverage it for productivity. Next point is networking and engaging with the AI communities. So there are different artificial intelligence communities that are now springing up that are literally concentrated on artificial intelligence. Network and engage with these communities. As a tech professional, you might not necessarily be able to keep up with whatever it is that is happening here, but there are some communities that are dedicated to doing that. There are several people on LinkedIn, on Twitter, wherever you can find them that are dedicated that are dedicated and concentrated on talking about AI or working with AI. So it will be in our best interest as tech professionals to engage with these communities, to network with these communities. That way you get to keep up with the trends, you get to keep up with whatever it is happening in the AI community. What's the new thing? What's the old thing? What's the stuff that is no longer working? What's the new stuff to do? Yeah. Network and engage with these communities, and you get to you're up to date with whatever is happening on the AI front. Next point is cultivate a growth mindset. Don't be rigid about doing stuff. I remember I was coding one day and someone was seeing me using ChatGPT, and the person was kind of trying to tease me oh yeah, ChatGPT developer. I don't think anybody's a ChatGPT developer. The goal is to get the work done, yeah? So cultivate that growth mindset. Don't be rigid about, oh, I don't want to use this. I'm a better developer and all of that. So be open-minded. If there's a tool you can use to make your work easy, faster, please be open to it and keep growing as this landscape of artificial intelligence is growing. And yeah, the last point, just chill. If you're coding, you're designing, whatever it is you're doing in tech, chill, drink water, take a breath. There are so many things in the landscape. There are so many new things coming out. There are so many new things to learn. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all of these new things. 1 minute you're using version 12 of something, the next minute version 13 is out and all of that. It's okay. Just take it one step at a time. Don't be overwhelmed. Drink water, take a chill pill, and yeah, you'll be fine. That will be all from my hand. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Sheon, over to you, please.
All right, thank you, Bemi. So, yeah, just a very quick one before we start answering questions. I just like to take us back to the evolution of artificial intelligence. And to go back to the question, artificial intelligence take over people's job. I'm currently working in the artificial intelligence space. The company where I work as a technical product manager is powered by AI. So we are using AI to solve problems. And let me tell you, AI hasn't got to the point where it can take people's job, because a computer or a machine is as wise as what you program it to do. So for years now, I want to cite an example of what Google did. So before Google could even roll out ChatGPT or whatnot, they had been training models for years. So if you have ever experienced CAPTCHA, where you want to register on a site, either on Google or whatever website that integrates or incorporated CAPTCHA into the authentication, you will see boxes of images, and they will say, click on the image that match. So that is Google training AI model. So even the AI needs human to train it to be able to respond. Just like Bemi mentioned that when ChatGPT was announced, it was showing rubbish, it wasn't showing accuracy. But over time, based on the question people are asking, the response they are remodeling, then the artificial intelligence model is being trained over time. So where I'm driving at is, how can you plug into this growing trend of AI, and what are the future opportunities? Bimi has done a very good justice to talk about the opportunities and challenge, but how can you plug? So the AI pipeline has a lot of phases. We have the point where you have to train the models, and after you train the model, you now have the AI model itself. Take for instance, you want to train, you want to have an AI solution that detects currencies. So you want to incorporate it into a phone camera. That's when you put on your camera, you want to snap any currency, and it's telling you the country, the denomination, maybe the year that currency was printed. See, the computer doesn't know any of that. It still needs human being to be able to take pictures of any available currency all over the world and put it into the machine. So you can see that you still have a role to play. So we have the they call them data aggregators. So those data aggregators are the ones in charge of sourcing for all of the data based on the AI model. So you are collecting the data. We have the data analyst. The data analyst analyze the data that the data aggregator gave, and they are able to refine it and process it and push it into the machine. We now have the AI and ML engineer that now use the data that has been given to them to process the AI pipeline itself. So don't be afraid. AI cannot take over your job. We have all of those pipelines that you can plug into. A machine, a computer is as good, is as fantastic as what you program it to do. So that is what the future looks like for AI. Yeah, I know we're rounding up in a few minutes. We can take questions now. Fauzi, so help us look through the chat and see what questions we have.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much, Bemi. The first question is, what is the best way to sell educational software that I built to some academic institutions? How can I use some of my projects to get a I think this question was for the previous panel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by ethical issues? Can you give an example? I think this is for Gbemi. Do you remember when you were talking about ethical issues?
Okay, I'll just answer that.
Okay.
So, ethical issues in AI is related to data privacy. So now you want to train a machine to do this. How do you get the data? Where do you get this data from? Because an AI can't function without data. Let's establish that. Without the data, without an AI model being trained with the data, it can't function. So the ethical issues that are related to AI adoption is data privacy. How much data can we put into an AI model or an AI pipeline? Where do we get this data from? How do we get this data? What license do we need to get this data? Currently is a challenge I'm facing in my workplace. We need some certain data, and we don't have the license to even collect those data. So even the AI technology we are building need that data, and until we get that that data protection license, we can't even use the data to train. Even if you collect the data, how we use that user data is very, very important. So those are the ethics, those are the ethical issue that happens in the AI space. Yeah. Bemi, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I totally agree with Sean's response. And I think I can link that point to data privacy and security. And I remember making the example of that tech company that restricted their developers from using ChatGPT, because these AI tools definitely need data, and they most likely would trade data from us users. And it's the reason why there's been so many ethical AI professionals talking about you protect your data on the internet, how you protect your data while using different tools. So yeah, that's exactly what it means. And I think Sean has done justice to that question. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Fauzi, do you have any other question?
No, we do not.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sheon. Thank you so much, Bimi. It was nice having you. Thank you to all the panelists and the speakers that we've had here today. You guys, Bimi and Sheon are about to leave. If you have any final questions, this is the time before we wrap this up. All right, thank you so much. We're just going to wrap this up. I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much for coming. Before we wrap it up, I'm just going to play some music while we're saying bye-bye to each other via the YouTube chat. Bye.